Imagine if I as a CEO, I don't have the great vision to achieve certain standards. So it's kind of a working together into achieving something greater. You don't live in this world alone,
True.
right? You must have the vision first. As a CEO, you must have the vision first. But after which, the one that fuel that vision of yours is the people around you.
Hello, guys, and we're back with another series of Copy and Cop with your host, Mr. Cop. And today we have our lovely guest, Mr. Ray from CEO of Studio 5 Media Group. And today we're going to talk about how the journey started and what have become of the company right now. Mr. Ray?
Okay, yeah. What?
Like, how did you start it, how did Studio 5 have become? What motivates you and like, how do you do it? You have you have a lot of employees, you have a lot of entities, and suddenly like how did it started? And you have become like one of the biggest media group in Singapore.
Yeah, it's a very long story lah, but I would say that it is an accidental success.
Accidental.
Yeah, because before this I wasn't doing media. I wasn't even in in media school, film school, as I aspire to be. No, not really. I really didn't know what I want. So I think from school onwards, it has always been the two most coolest profession in the planet at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a professional football player or a professional rock star. You know?
Rockstar, eh?
Yeah, but of course, kind of not a very idealistic idea. Then because I am not allowed to become a rock star or even a professional football player here, and then I didn't know what to do. So of course, I worked with multiple jobs and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot until one day I decided I really need to know what to do in life.
Does that
Do you watch Friends? That
I do watch Friends,
you
yeah.
watch Friends, right?
Yeah, I know. I
I
love
love Friends. I really love Friends. So there was one episode, Rachel.
yeah.
She always wanted to go to fashion, but
Mm-hmm.
she's been working as a waitress
Yeah,
for
yeah.
2 years.
Yes.
And then she go and approach Chandler and Joey, and then asked Joey and Chandler for advice. And then Joey and Chandler advised her one of the best advice ever in the episode. They said that in order for you to know what you want to do, you
Mm-hmm.
need to have the fear.
True.
And then Rachel asked, "What fear are you talking about?" They said, "The fear of being jobless,
Yeah.
the fear of not having a job." Because the more you are comfortable with what you do right now, you will never realize what is the thing that you really want to do.
Mm.
So they persuade Rachel to quit on the spot, and Rachel quit. And you guys know the story if you guys watch
Yeah,
Friends.
yeah.
She
She
eventually
become, yeah.
became a great executive
Yes.
in Ralph Lauren
Yep.
towards the end. Lah. So that advice from Challenge Joey kind of hit into me at that moment of my life, whereby you know what, I think I should just quit my job,
Hmm.
and then finally realize what I want to do, and
At
I
that
quit.
time, what are you doing?
I was in banking.
Banking.
Yeah, I was in
That was
banking.
not your passion.
Um,
Is that why you
I
quit?
wouldn't know passion
Okay.
because you really don't know what you are really good. Okay, there's a difference between passion and hobby, right?
Yep.
So hobby is something that you really like to do,
True.
right?
Mm-hmm.
On your pastime, but not necessarily you want to work your ass off towards becoming the best at what you do. So I didn't know what my passion was. Of course, I have a lot of things that I'm passionate about. Like I love playing music, I love playing sports, I love adventures and whatnot. But those kind of passion, those kind of hobbies is not going to make me money, right?
Yeah.
So in terms of job scope,
Mm-hmm.
whichever job that I went, I am really passionate about my job. My first job was working in a fast food restaurant.
KFC.
Why you mentioned, sir? Okay, anyhow. So I was working in a fast food restaurant, KFC. I have amazing bosses.
Mm-hmm.
I have amazing staff. And to this day, if you can ask me, who are my most highest performing staff, I would still answer KFC.
Mm.
And those staff of mine are not like in their 20s or in their 30s. No, they are in their teens and in their golden age, like 50-year-old, 60-year-old retirees, working in KFC. You know, the old and the young working together. They are really, really passionate at what they do, very high performers. If I can.
Why do you say that? Why like performing?
Okay, so in a fast food restaurant, right, we
Okay.
have a lot of customers,
All right.
and we need to have a turnaround fast.
Yep.
That's why it's called fast food. You cannot make the customer wait. I mean, we are consumers ourselves in fast food. If we have to wait for our food, don't call it fast food, call it slow food,
Yeah.
right? And furthermore, there's a lot of steps in preparing the chicken, in preparing the food lah. Um, and when there's crowd come in, and every staff knows
What
what
to
to
do?
do.
Yeah.
I don't even need to tell them that, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. No, it's pre-briefing before they start their shift, and automatically they will know what to do. During closing, everyone knows what to do. I don't really need to micromanage every single staff.
Hmm.
And they are really, really, when they do their work, it's not like, oh, because of my manager, I have to do work properly. No, they do their work because they want to be the best at what they do. you
Hmm.
know and they're still my highest performing staff up till today. If you ask me, I would still vouch for them. And right now, yeah, of course, they are in their 30s already, I guess, or in their 20s. I'm not quite sure,
Mm-hmm.
because when they first started working with me, I was still in my 20s, and they're in their teens. They're in
Still
their
young.
15-year-old, 16-year-old. Yeah, they could be in their 30s right now. They all start their own family, and I'm sure whatever they learn in KFC, it's a reflection of who they become
Later in life, right?
right now in future,
Mm.
right? I mean, I'm not here really to talk you to talk to you about KFC, but I think the journey when I started that, it's really not under my radar. I never even when I was young,
Mm-hmm.
I never even asked myself or tell myself that say, oh, when I grow up, I want to be a KFC manager. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a norm for people to say that. Usually, when I grow, I want to be a pilot, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an architect, a lawyer. All those high skilled profession, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I got into KFC, it's kind of by chance,
Mm-hmm.
because my uncle used to be the director
Oh, okay.
in KFC.
Yeah.
So I asked him for a lot of advice. So after NS, I said, "Hey, uncle, I don't know what to do in my life. Give me some advice." Then my uncle said, "Join KFC lah. If you don't like, you just quit lah. Just give it a try. It could build your career. In KFC, you will learn a lot of things." And I said, "Learn what, sir? I'm just selling food. What can I
Mm.
learn?" That was what I
Yeah,
thought
initially, yeah.
back then, right?
Yeah.
Then okay lah, went for the interview, and then I went to my first 2 weeks of training. So my first day, I realized there's a lot of procedures that I need to learn,
Mm.
a lot of SOPs, and it got me curious. It got me really want to learn more. Like for example, all my years I thought preparing chicken is just take the chicken,
Cool.
put in the flour, and
Mm.
then cook, press timer.
Mm.
No, the way the chicken's being prepared is different. There's the step by step process that you really need to follow religiously. You need to
Mhm.
follow really, really step by step to make sure the chicken is prepared. After the chicken's been cooked, also there's another step for you to drain the chicken, for how many minutes. Wow, so a lot of steps.
Detail. Yeah.
Very detailed. And to the fact, the fries also, the way you salt the fries, there is procedure. At home, when you salt the fries, it's just like that, you shake and then that's it. But no, it doesn't work like that. There's procedure, right? And of course, that is the food segment. But when it comes to the administrative segment, okay, let's say talk about logistic.
Mhm.
There's also SOPs for logistic. There's dry goods, wet goods, chill goods, frozen goods. And you need to know where to store, how long the shelf life, and
Oh.
how to store them. And it really like, wow, the system here is wonderful. One small store, but a lot of system. That's the reason why all the staff and the managers who are working inside the restaurant, they know exactly what to do without micromanaging. And then when it comes to the administrative part, right, the finance, when I see my manager back then, I was training, right?
Mhm.
Then I see my manager on how they calculate the projection. How many chickens to order this week? How many chickens to order today? How many dry goods to order? They really calculate that step by step.
Wow.
in my head before I joined, I thought, hey, order only lah. Got
Yeah,
space, just
yeah.
put lah.
Just order only.
Just order only. No, that's not the way. You really need to order because according to how many people purchase
Mhm.
the chicken on that day, and then you need to follow the trend. You cannot order too much or too little. You order
Mm.
too much, the chicken
Spoil.
will spoil.
Yep.
You order too little, not enough stock.
Yep.
So you need to have the precise number on how many to order and how much to order.
Wow.
Even the dry goods like paper cups. In my head got storage,
Just put,
store,
yeah.
just put. No, you can't do that because we need to cater certain storage. You cannot like every storage like Tetris, every bits and pieces you need to fill it up. No, because the store is small. It's not like
Mm.
huge that you can store everything and anything into it. And then comes to the rostering. You need to roster each staff to the availability and then which day they can work, which day they cannot work, and then you must have specific number of staff for each place to make sure that you are into the projection, the forecast of not overspending paying,
Mm-hmm.
because if there's no customer, why should you have like 20 staff,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And when there's little people, why should you only have 5 staff?
Mm.
So you really need to learn all of that. And I'm like, wow, amazing. Let me learn it. And I want to do rostering already. Then after that, the finance part, when during the week closing, the day closing, you need to close the day. How many sales and what is the margin, blah, blah, blah. And I said, wow, amazing. Then I suddenly, in that 1 week, I want to learn like everything. Then I remember my trainer, she said, hey, you are too fast. Can you just slow down, do things step by step? Just learn how to cook chicken first before you go this one and that one. She said, yeah, but I really want to learn. And because I really have to follow the timetable of the training program, right? So I can't wait to get out of the training, go to the store to make sure that I can learn everything at the store itself.
Mm.
So you ask me whether I'm passionate in what I do in KFC. Yes, I was. I'm willing to stay up late. I'm willing to do anything and everything that my manager did back then because I really want to learn a lot of things. I don't mind learning new things. I really don't mind. So was that a dream of mine to become a KFC manager? It wasn't. So it's hard for me to justify what is my passion. And of course, after KFC, I got headhunted to another company, and I just keep on trying out until the end. I ended up in a bank. So in a bank, I was very, very much comfortable. I have a great boss.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great team. Um, we every time do things together, go out together. It's really, really great atmosphere. But something in me just doesn't feel fulfilled. So when I watched that Friends episode, I decided, you know what, just follow Joey and Chandler advice lah, quit lah. After I quit, I really start learning about myself. What do I want to do?
What do you do at first?
So after a while, I realized that in all my days working in a corporate life, I was always being arrowed to be a committee member.
Mm.
Always being arrowed to be a committee member. So I thought, hey, maybe I have a knack. I have a knack for planning events. So I started events company to do birthday parties, to plan for holidays. Things like that, like itinerary planning, what to very, very like an event planner. I started my first company called Entourage Events.
Entourage events.
Yeah, registered the company and then do the logo, do the name card.
Alone? Were you alone?
Alone lah, I was alone lah. I was like, wow, amazing lah. Then I did my own first birthday party, which a contact of mine, a friend of mine, say, hey, since you do event planning, you plan my birthday party lah, my kid's birthday party. Hey, okay, no problem. Then some of my ex-colleagues also kind of supported me in my first venture to do their so-called family gathering, to order for them like which catering is the best, to find out for them. After a while, then I realized, wow, this is a chore. It's like, damn, I don't want to do this.
Tiring.
It's not about tiring.
Okay.
Tiring, one thing, right? You can be being tired is being human.
Yeah, true.
Right? But being tiring and fulfilled is different.
Yeah.
Being tired but you complain is also different.
Yeah.
It is a blessing if you can feel tired but fulfilled.
Mm.
That's passion, right? Because you can never be tired at doing something that you love every
That's
single day.
It doesn't feel tired at all.
Yeah. tired is only physical, it's
Mm.
only being human, right? So I found it that it was a chore. My events, yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I thought I liked this, but I didn't. So I found it a chore, and I don't want to do this anymore. Then I just F it. I don't want to do
Mm.
the event company anymore. And then I start to find myself again. What do I like to do without feeling tired, without feeling like demoralized at all? Then I realized, I always like the media part because during secondary school, during poly, I will usually like during French chalet,
Mm-hmm.
I usually have the video cam and
Mm.
then edit lah, passion project. Then in poly, um, I also like take video and edit. I say, yeah, I kind of like doing that. So why not I just start a
Media
media
company.
company lah. So I called one of my friend who is already in a media company. Hey, I think I want to venture into this, but I don't have anything. I don't have camera. I don't have editing system. I don't have anything at all that to do with it. I only have myself. So my friend said, never mind lah. You can just borrow my camera, and then you got editing system. I don't. So my brother, my younger brother, was already doing editing.
Mm.
He's a photographer. So he have to go to Brunei for attachment for 1 year. So his editing system is free to use.
Mm.
So I called him, punya kahak sia. Yeah. But I called him and said, since you're not using a computer, let me use lah.
Yeah.
Said, okay lah, use lah. Because he got all the Adobe software. It's like,
Yeah.
okay lah, use lah. Then that's where my first project is lah. So I took it was an event by Robinsons, the company. I just have to take the event D&D, and then I just have to edit and pass to the
Editors.
client, right?
The client,
So
yeah.
this is my friend's project. I'm
Mm.
just a subcon to his project.
Mm.
Then I realized, quite interesting lah. I think I can make this into a living, and that fully give me the fuel to start my own freelance journey. Yeah, so
How
that's
long
where
do
it
you?
started lah.
Yeah. How long were you in freelancing?
So it was, I think, about 3 years when I was freelancing by my own. And then I realized one thing that made me not want to freelance anymore.
You have a lot of this pause. You know?
Yeah, because I totally believe in this thing whereby everything that happened to you, be it the easy ones, be it the hard one, every challenges that happens to you
Mm-hmm.
is totally meant for you.
Yeah. Definitely.
You just have to take it and then try to see what you can gain from it.
Mm.
Right, rather than you ignore it, avoid it, you can never gain anything
True.
from it. So try to get some opportunity from it, right? So something happened. Just for context, I am in a family of creative.
Yep.
So family of creatives, it doesn't mean that all my people, all my family members are videographers or freelancers. No, they are not. Different type of creatives. Like my uncle, he's working in MediaCorp.
Mm.
Now still in MediaCorp.
Mm-hmm.
That his first job and his last job to retirement, hopefully, uncle. Yeah. And my dad is also a freelancer
Mm-hmm.
all his life. My younger brother is a creative. He's a damn good photographer. And then another one of my uncle is an architect, so still in the creative world,
Yep.
right? And then my aunt is a teacher, lecturer, a lot of lecturers in my dad's side. So I'm really being surrounded by a lot of creative thinkers, I would say, right? And then so back to the freelance thing, right? Then I realized something. My dad was a freelancer all his life. One day he fell sick.
Mm-hmm.
He really fell sick. Just for context, my dad was one of the highly sought after photographer and cameraman during his days, because back then there's not a lot of
Yeah.
competitors.
Yep.
There's no film school.
Mm.
Everyone who wants to learn camera, they have to go to someone who knows camera. They don't have schools or courses to teach camera, to teach video and everything like that. So my father was one of the pioneers in Singapore, and everyone would go to him. I want to learn video, I want to learn camera, I want to learn this, I want to learn that, blah blah blah. So my father was a highly sought after person back then, and I rarely spend time with him because he's focusing on his gigs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got job in, job out. Day in day out, he got a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
really a lot of jobs, and client really value him a lot. Client will say, "I want your dad to do this. Your dad's very creative. This and that, this and that." Until one fine day, my dad fell sick.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot take the project. Then my dad tell me, "Hey, can you take this project?" Blah 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 blah. Blah. And then when introduced to the client say, "Hey, your dad cannot take ah." So how ah? Okay, your dad's style is like this, like this, like this. They say, "Okay, my style is a little bit different. Can you
Yeah.
follow your dad's style?" Say, "I don't think I can, but I
Try.
try.
Yeah, try.
I don't think I can, but I can try." Then okay lah. Then in the end, when I deliver, yeah, it's good. It's a different perspective, but they are so used to my dad's style of shooting, so used to my dad's style of editing,
Mm-hmm.
every single thing. And then my dad cannot take the job because he fell sick.
Mm.
And one fine day he got into stroke. Cannot work, cannot really go out to shoot anymore.
At all.
You know.
So that was like his last.
Yeah, and then I asked myself, did he live a fulfilling and satisfied life working into something that he really, really loves to do? Yes,
Yeah.
he did. But did he um, return or did he build a legacy? No,
Mm. It
he
just
doesn't.
ended.
Because the people that he taught all started their own freelance gig
Yeah.
and everyone is working freelance.
Mm.
So from that day onwards, I realized that if I were to be in freelance, I will still be an active income earner. And if I fall sick, what's going to happen to my company, right? And then 2013, I decided to change my course of action. I'm not going to be doing freelance. I want to build a team who's working together with the like-minded people, like mine, who can achieve into greater heights.
Mm.
And of course, when I built a company, I know what are my shortcomings are. Like I'm not good at editing.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not good as a video person. I'm not a good cameraman. I'm not good a photographer. I'm not good in design. But I have this vision of building people who really wants to be in this journey together, and we built a team together. And that's when I started Studio 5 in 2013. Of course, the first partner that I have was one of the most talented person that I know is my brother.
Mm, yep.
And then subsequently, I got more talented people that joined in, like Fazli. You will hear his story in the next, in whatever episode podcast that he in.
Yeah.
He came in from nothing,
Yeah.
edit using MS Paint. He's not using the right editing tools.
Yeah.
His color grading is all blue. He really knows nothing. But he's a very, very talented guy, and he actually changed the course of what Studio 5 creative direction should be.
Big impact.
Yeah, because that is just an example of when you build a team working together, collaborate together towards a common goal, a common vision, bigger things can be achieved because you cannot do this alone.
True.
You need smarter people than you
Mm-hmm.
to be working together with you, not for you, but with you. No, because I am always living the life where I aim to be the most stupidest guy in the
Mm.
room, in the company. Because as long as I remain stupid, I can get better people around me that can feed me with a lot of knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and that can have better direction, fresher vision and aligning towards that common goal that all of us have. And that's how I built from just me, myself, to 2 person, 3, 4. Eventually, we almost had 50 strong
50. That's a lot.
employees in Studio 5. Yeah lah. Then eventually, business logic change, business
Yep.
direction
Yep.
change, and then we kind of changed the model a little bit. That's why we have to cut
Mm-hmm.
a lot of costs, especially. That's just another story for another day lah. So
Another segments.
yeah, in reference to your question about how that the journey
Yeah.
started is
Yeah.
basically because of that. It's my vision is always about building people because I myself didn't have a mentor when I first started. When I say mentor, mentor in business,
Yep.
I didn't have that. And I know a lot of freelancers, um, a lot of freelancers would say that I want to be a businessman. I want to be a businessman, but some of them, they do not know the difference between a sole proprietor and a business owner. You know, sole proprietor is basically self-employed. A business owner is passive. You know, there's this thing. If you guys do not know, you guys should read the Rich Dad Poor Dad, where they
Yep.
taught you, where they
Robert
teach you
Kiyosaki.
about the EBSI model, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need to have the active income, and you also need to have the passive
Passive
income,
income. Yeah.
right? You cannot just have an active income alone. You cannot have just passive income alone.
Yeah.
Active, as it states, you need to remain active.
True.
If you just remain passive, all passive income, you'll be lazy. You don't do
Yeah, you'll be
anything.
lazy.
Your brain also won't work. Lah. Right? You
Yeah.
need to have that active and
You
passive
need both lah,
supplement,
basically.
right?
Yeah.
So, but as a self-employed, you'll be all the way active,
True.
right? So I do not want that. I would want to be a business owner. That's when Studio 5 started, whereby I can have people working together with me into realizing their dreams and build their dreams together, and of course grow them not only in terms of their mindset but in terms of their skills and technical level, because it's a cycle, right? I will impart my knowledge into the one that I hire,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one that I hire will eventually have someone under them.
Yep.
Someone under them will eventually have someone under them again. So the knowledge being passed not only to me, because it's being refreshed, it's being enhanced by the next person and the next and the next. So that's how a company grow. It's not just based on your single ideology that everything must be following your way.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone must follow the vision of the company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the way of doing things need to evolve.
True.
That's why one of our vision of Studio 5 is evolve. We need to constantly evolve. Yeah, I think I talk too much.
No, I think it's okay. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting also.
Yeah.
The concept of evolving, it makes sense. You know, some company die. You know, like Kodak. Kodak, right?
Kodak ikan todak.
So because of the absence of evolving, that's why it makes them no longer relevant nowadays. Now we have DJI, we have Insta360. You know, the need of evolve is somehow necessary in this modern time.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are around my bubble, right? No, I'm not saying that being a sole proprietor is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying being a business owner is the route that you must go. No, I'm not saying that, because a lot of successful people out there are also still sole proprietors.
Yeah.
Like actors, they
True,
are
true.
sole proprietors,
That's what it is, yeah.
right? They need to act in order to get paid. If they don't have gig, they cannot be paid, right? Those are active income earners, right? They need to be actively involved in their art.
Correct.
Actors are also art, right? Like in our field, the photographers, they have their own art. They have their own style. This is my style. This is this. This is that. The cameraman, the editors, they have their own style in whatever, and they become their own artists themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I'm not an artist. I'm not a great artist. That's why I cannot be a successful sole proprietor, because my ideas will die eventually, right? But I believe in this. One of the domain of being resilient is called collaboration.
Collaborating.
Yes. So in this domain of resilient called collaboration is I need people who can fuel me into moving forward. And of course, I am fueling them, giving them the platform, giving them the right opportunity for them to grow. You know, and with this good collaboration, it can enhance you and can evolve better, rather than you or me myself follow my own ideology and my style. I don't think I can grow. If I am a great artist, I will be a sole proprietor, because I believe in my art, and the people will buy my art. Everyone, I can earn passively by selling my art.
Yep.
But I'm not that great of an artist. You know, if you can't draw, means you can't draw. No matter how hard you try to draw, you can't draw.
So can I say that Studio 5 Media Group is shaped by these, you know, talented minds and that has
Of
come so
course.
far? Yeah, because you're just gathering them,
Yes,
right?
exactly. I'm not the one that shaped
Oh.
Studio 5 into what it is today. It's the people that has been with me throughout. The one that is still here, the one that has left, all of them contribute one way or another.
Mm.
And all of their contribution is never being discounted. One of our logos that we still use today
Mm.
is actually contributed one of our interns.
Intern. Do
Yes.
a logo.
Yes, we even give equal opportunities to interns to design a logo for our entity.
Mm.
And that intern kind of won the logo by votes, right? So it's not being shaped by me. It's really being shaped by the people who is still with Studio 5 right now and who has left Studio 5 as well, but were still a part of Studio 5. They are the ones who shape the whole dynamics of what Studio 5 culture should be. Yeah.
Do you think that Studio 5 will still be here even you're not longer here?
I believe that it will. Because now let me ask let me ask the crowd.
You can ask.
If I die today, right? Do you think Studio 5 will continue? If I die today, do you think Studio 5 will continue? Yeah. So, huh? Studio 6. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, Studio 5 is not about Ray. It's not about me. It's
Yeah.
about the people. Even if I'm no longer here, the people here is going to strive to keep the Studio 5 brand, the Studio 5 community, the Studio 5 people alive. One of them will jump in and say, you know what, let's do this, let's do that, let's
Yeah.
keep the company going, you know. And that is the thing that I believe it will still continue as long as we get business from clients. So clients, please give us business. Yeah.
But that's actually quite interesting because, to us, like more generic people, they would think a company is held by the CEO, the CEO vision stuff. But here,
Yes, it is true. The CEO of every company must have the biggest vision.
mm,
You cannot say things like your vision is too big. Can
mhm,
you lower it down? You cannot say things like, oh, your vision is too far fetched for me to achieve.
mhm,
Then the CEO is wrong in hiring the wrong people.
true.
I give you another example.
Okay.
Let's talk about Fazli. I love talking about Fazli
Okay.
because
Fazli.
he's
Let's go,
one
Fazli.
decade with me already. We kind of started the whole ball rolling together in a
Mhm.
way. He's pioneer, right?
Mhm.
So back then when I said, no, we do this editing style, then the customer will like, okay, no, let's try a different style. Then he try and error like a lot of things. Try this, try that. And okay, I go shoot for myself. I try to develop a certain story, blah 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 blah. And yeah, hey, actually, this can work,
Yeah.
you know. And he went for courses to make
Mm.
sure that we kind of evolve through the time.
Yep.
Even until now, he is still evolving because the one that feeding me with knowledge about camera, about editing tools, about AI is him.
Mm.
It's not me. You know, so I get this knowledge from the people that is with me, right? So that is a clear-cut example about like the CEO must have the greatest vision. And back then I say, Fazli, I think I need this. For example, okay, I have a contract with, let's say, a client.
Okay.
Say, Fazli, I got this contract with the client, and my vision is I would really want this. And Fazli, okay, let me research on it. Let me find out what's the best way possible to make for this client. Automatically, he will research. Okay, Ray, you know what? I have research, and this client usually like this, like this, like this, like this. Can we, do this and that? That's it. Imagine if I as a CEO, I don't have the great vision to achieve certain standards.
Mm.
Fazli wouldn't have that. So it's kind of a working together into achieving something greater. You don't live in this world alone,
True.
right? You must have the vision first. As a CEO, you must have the vision first. But after which, the one that fuel that vision of yours is the people around you.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting because people evolve, the company has evolved so far and so much. I feel like Studio 5 has become a place. Like, what would you want to see? Like, what Studio 5 actually is? Like, what kind of place? For people who doesn't know about Studio 5, right?
My my stand for Studio 5 has always been the same. I want this place to be a safe haven for people to work, that they can voice out anything that they can, not in terms of only their challenges,
Mm-hmm.
but their ideas, their creativity, because there's a lot of work environment that whatever my manager say, I listen. Whatever my director say, I listen. Whatever my boss say, I just do it only.
Mm.
But I want to do, not say I want, I strive, and I really hope that even when I'm not around, the culture of Studio 5 will still remain the same, whereby we empower people. We believe in equal opportunities to anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're a senior or you're an intern,
Mm-hmm.
that share ideas, open door policy, that we can really pour out everything. And I always tell my guys, is like, it's okay for you to have 1,000 ideas to share with me, even though none of our ideas is being implemented.
Yeah.
It's fine, but at least you have that opportunity to share your idea.
Mm.
I hear your idea, I hear you, but sometimes we may not implement your idea, but at least you still have a say
Mm.
in your ideas. That's what I aim for Studio 5 in the next generations to be, that everyone is allowed to give their own ideas on the table. Yeah, but the responsibility is towards the decision maker itself,
Yep.
like whose idea that I want to implement.
Mm.
Your idea as a leader is not the best. You need to gather a lot
Yep.
of ideas, a lot of suggestions, a lot of feedbacks for you to make a
Perspective.
decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, leaders will always be the decision maker, and you have to be responsible for your own decision. And you can't blame any of the guys. This is your fault. I listen to you. Your fault. No,
You have to take responsibility.
yeah, you must take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
Okay, I make this decision. My bad. Let's learn from this and move forward.
Yeah. True.
Right?
Yeah.
And you must be bold enough to say in front of your staff, say, this is my bad. This is my fault. I apologize. Let's move on to the next projects. Let's move on to the next journey. Let's see what I can learn from this mistake that I've made. Yeah.
Totally agree. That's how a company should work.
Now let me ask you, you have been here
Yeah.
for 2 years already.
Mm.
Is that whatever that I have explained to you, is it very valid or is
It's
it very
valid.
different?
It's very valid.
So when you first came, what were your perspective towards?
My perspective was that it would be like a media company where the idea was presented, and when the idea was presented, I just run through the executions of the idea. But throughout the journey, I feel like I should do this and that. That's a different perspective also. I'm sure because we have a lot of people. I have a different background. Also have a different background. Because of that, we need to find a common ground where both of our idea kind of merge. Plus your expertise, plus my expertise. So in a way that we can execute it accordingly. Like my idea can execute in your sector.
Yeah, it's true. But not all of ideas are sometimes being
True.
implemented,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, you feel good that at least Ray listened to me. At least Ian listened.
Yeah. We have an idea bank.
You have an ideas bank,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes the ideas, it's not ready to be implemented right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that is what I want to achieve for Studio 5. You will never hear me say that we're going to be the best media company in the world, in Singapore, in Asia. No, I want to not to be the best in terms of our quality or in terms of the way we transcend the cinematic feature or whatever. But I want to be the best in having the best people in the company to achieve a greater goal every single time. So it's always evolving, and continue evolving.
True.
So that is what I want to be the best at in Studio 5. The people must know that they are the best at what they do. And then in the end, everyone will follow suit. I cannot allow toxic people in the company. It's a hard work to build a building, right? But it just take a second to burn the building down.
True.
Yeah, and you need to rebuild the building again.
Mm.
So I think one of the greatest challenge for my ops team is definitely hiring
The right person.
the right people. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. I think we almost come to an end. I would like to have like just any shout out to the viewers, what you want to say, you know, about Studio 5, or you want to have a catchphrase
No,
or a
there's no catchphrase.
tagline. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. So I think I just want to end off by
Okay.
it doesn't matter whether you are a freelancer right now, a sole proprietor, or you strive to be a business owner. It really depends on your vision about what you want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of proprietor friends who are successful, great at their art, really, really a lot. But again, there are different side of the coin,
True.
whichever you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I always believe in the two different side of a coin that in order for you to win, someone got to lose. You know, it's really about the balance, and the most important thing about you need to know your strength.
True.
You need to know what you really want to achieve. What is the vision towards what you want to achieve? It's actually not hard. I've been having a lot of questions in my network that ask me the same question: how do you build a team? Right now, I'm doing photography alone,
Mm.
but you are not even a photographer, eh?
Yeah.
You're not even in the media field. How do you, build, or why do you even build a media business? You're not good at anything. Yeah? Okay, yeah, I don't have to be good at anything. My guys just have to be good at what they do.
Mm.
So that's me. My vision is not to be a greatest artist following my style. No, the video that you see right now is not my style.
Yep.
My vision of what I want to achieve, yes, partially, but most of the technical, the creativity, it comes from another person, right? So even my partners in the different entities, I will always tell them the vision of the entity, why we need to do what we do. Always start with why, right? Why we need to do what we do, and in the end, I will impart certain expertise, certain knowledge, and then they were the ones who say, okay, now this is what I want to drive this entity moving forward. I want this, I want this, I want this, and blah blah blah. And at the end of the day, right now, running few entities, I'm not even on the ground for any entity.
Mm.
So no, I manage the whole group by itself, having my share, like ad hoc meetings with my entity leaders, with my marketeers, with my ops team. So the CEO will always strive to relook into the models, look into the news, what is going to happen. You need to have a very good foresight.
True.
So for those of you who really want to know whether you should continue being a sole proprietor or you want to start to be a business owner, it really depends on your vision. If you want to be a great artist, imparting whatever you believe in your art, be a sole proprietor and be the best at it. Don't just half pass it.
Halfway.
Just don't halfway. Just be the greatest at
Yeah.
it. If you're a business owner, yes, you must have the ability to foresight. You must have the ability to hire the right people around you that you lack of. That's all.
Okay, Mr. Ray, thank you for your time. And I think that is all for Copy and Cock segments. And I hope you guys learned something from Mr. Ray, whether you're a sole proprietor or freelance or whatever. So that's it for today. Thank you.